one song. Fantastic.
Okay.
Like a good team.
About the song about with Danko Jones and Angela Gasso, these are two very different singers. Weren't you afraid of not being able to reproduce the song live because of the
Oh, we can't. We can't reproduce that song live because you'd have to get Danko to sing it. And maybe you could get away without Angela, but I think that's a song that we'd probably do at a festival or something where Danko and Angela come in and play the song with us. Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's you can't replace Danko Jones's voice.
So you're not playing that song?
No.
Too bad.
No, there's a few songs. One we played tonight called Clown Parade, where Jeff Loomis from Nevermore did one of the solos, a big long 1 minute solo, and then I did a minute solo. We just cut out his whole section and go right into my guitar solo because there's no point in trying to, you know, like Alexi Leho. There's no way I'm going to try and play 3 minutes of Alexi Leho. Fantastic guitar player.
Okay. With all those younger guest musicians you have on the album, and the fact that you're opening for Trivium, it looks like you are trying to conquer a new audience, younger audience. Am I wrong?
Well, that it was almost finished, so I had to erase most of my solos and a lot of parts on the songs when it seems Corey came up with the idea, in a way. But no, it just worked out that way. A lot of the people that have got in touch with me in the last few years and said, hey, I really like Annihilator CDs or Annihilator's music, are younger people. You know, they're not going to be older. I'm the one that looks up to the older guys, but they were, most of the people on the record, you know, liked Annihilator at some time in their career, and that's the way it worked. It worked good. I mean, the Trivium tours, the first 3 weeks of the Trivium tour were in the UK, and we don't sell many records in the UK, and it was really, really cool of Corey and the band to bring us there, because we were playing in front of like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 kids a night, and they were almost all Trivium fans. Yeah. So it was very good for us, because at the end of our set, they would, you know, they liked Annihilator at the end of the set, and you know that you got some new fans there. So it was really, really cool of Trivium, for sure.
Okay. Your new album is entitled Metal, obviously as a tribute to the metal style. What are your thoughts on the metal scene today?
First of all, I didn't even know what to call my album, and that was, our website's been called Annihilator Metal since the 90s, so with all those different guest players on there, I looked at the list of the people when they were finished, and I thought, man, it's a lot of metal guitar players and musicians but they're all from different styles of metal bands. You know, Arch Enemy's different than Anvil, different than Children of Bodom, different than Lamb of God. You know, these are all metal bands, but they're all different kinds of metal. So that's kind of why I titled it like that. I have no other title I could think of. Judas Priest should have that title, but they didn't take it, so
maybe one day.
Priest should have called it Judas Priest Metal.
Yeah. What do you think about these men like Trivium that has a lot of success today? How can you explain you opening for them, considering the metal legend you are?
Because they, most countries, they sell more records than we do, so that makes, and they're more popular, and they're newer, younger. And Annihilator have always been a band that have, you know, we had very big success on their first 4 albums, and then it went down in the 90s when things, metal kind of, not disappeared, but went away a lot. But we've always been just cruising, putting records out, doing well, very quietly, we say in English, under the radar. And yeah, of course, we would support Trivium when Annihilator would play in England. Now, today, we would play to 300, 400, 500, 600 kids, and Trivium played to 5,000 kids. So that's why we're a support act.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the Canadian metal scene? It looks like it has always been one of the most creative countries. I mean, like bands like Rush or Devin Townsend. Yeah.
I don't know anything really about the Canadian scene now, especially metal. I don't really follow that. There's not a lot of bands from Canada, but we seem to have our own sound because we're almost in the middle of Europe and the States musically. We get influences from U.S. bands, but we also have a lot of British and German and European influence in our music too. So we have the best influences. We've got the whole world's influences. But I forgot the question. Getting old. Canadian, yeah. Okay. Oh, Canada, yeah.
Alice in Hell and Never Never Land are regarded as classic metal albums, almost like Metallica Metal or Puppet or Megadeth, rest in peace. What are your thoughts on these two albums today?
Yeah, I kind of looked at it as the first four Annihilator records were very big for us, and those were the King of the Kill, Set the World on Fire were very big records for Annihilator. And of course, everybody has their opinion. Oh, Alice in Hell was the best record, and some people say King of the Kill was the best, and some people say Never Never Land. I think the best-selling one was Never Never Land. That was the biggest one. Yeah, but yeah, it's very interesting because the first four records are very big ones. Had four different singers on four records.
Yeah.
So I don't think any band's ever done that in metal. 4 records, 4 singers. And yet we still have record deals and still have fans and still sell records. And you know, some people in certain countries, or some people like the Thrash Annihilator, and I say, okay, what's the Thrash Annihilator records? And they say, oh, Alice in Hell. And I go, what's the first song on Alice in Hell? Well, it's a classical guitar love song. Okay, second song in Alice in Hell. It's called Alice in Hell. It's a commercial metal song. It's not a thrash song. And so we've always had a strange... Some people like some singers, and they don't like the other singers. We've always had people... So when one person, when you might say, oh, I love Coburn Farr, Never Neverland singer, another person will say, no, Randy Rampage is the best singer. Another person will say, Joe Comeau is the best singer. So it's really cool on our website and on the internet to watch people get angry and argue and fight and argue over who's the best album and who's the best singer and that. So I think that's one of the reasons why Annihilator is still going well, is because we always have changes. And if you as a fan don't like the new CD, you will probably listen to the next one to see if you like it. You know.
Yeah. There is a little guitar lick that manages to make its way on one way or the other on every Annihilator
There's a
album.
couple of them.
Yeah, but there's one specific, you know, we hear it on Never Never Land for the first time. At the beginning of the song, it's just a few notes, but we hear on every album.
Yeah. I don't know which one you're talking about, but there's a good 3 or 4 that I'd always do.
Okay, I've always wondered if there was a story behind this.
I don't know which one you're talking about, but there's quite a few that I do.
Yeah.
I